from 1979 is Knockabout. Now, this is directed and co-stars Sammo Hung, kind of, but we'll get to that. And this is introducing Yuen Biao, or it says that in the credits anyway. I kind of sure he probably was in several movies before. Maybe this was his first time as the lead, and he plays, along with his brother, several cons on people. We meet up with these characters as they're just kind of fleece people out of their hard-earned money. But they're a little bit incompetent. They're always bickering, and whenever they get their ill-gotten gains, they kind of find that they've lost them soon after, being pickpocketed, most notably by Sammo Hung several times, who's playing a beggar in the movie, who pops up just every now and again to take some of their ill-gotten gains, like I said. And we've got these characters who are kind of fun. They're aimless. There isn't really much of a plot to start with, and to be honest, in a lot of these movies there isn't much of a grand plot, and sometimes the first half hour or so can feel a little bit pointless as we follow characters waiting for the crux of the movie to get into its real story. This doesn't have that problem, because I like the two main performers, because I like the situations that they were in, and I like the kind of way that they would do something fantastic and then completely ruin it from themselves because of just family bickering, was incredibly fun. And things take a turn when they try to set up a character called Old Fox. To just set him up so they could fleece him of some money. Turns out he is a lot smarter than these two, and quickly gathers up what they are doing and turning it against themselves. When they attack him, he turns out to be a fantastic fighter, and we have these two brothers deciding that this is their new master. They are going to learn kung fu, learn how to fight, and then we have several scenes of them following this master about, learning what he's up to, learning the tricks of the trade and how to be good martial artists. The typical kind of scene that you've seen plenty of times in movies before. But because of the relationship between the two main actors, I really liked them. I wanted them to do better than they were doing. They always were looking for angles and how to get quick fixes, but then they would work hard at training. They had this duality of not just disciples, but people who were learning this martial arts so they could continue to do what they did, but just have a better chance of starting the fights that they caused. Things take a turn for the worse when they discover that the old fox, their master, is in fact a murderer, escaped criminal. And that's when we get into the real crux of the story. Things happen and transpire from there, and I won't spoil for you because I think you really have to see it. But here we have some fantastic, and it feels almost pointless saying that because it seems to be the way with most of these movies, fight scenes. They are exquisite. There are usually many people involved within hand-to-hand combat fighting, and the way they are staged, the acrobatics, is just tremendous. I love this kind of master learning their kind of trade and learning how to do their martial arts, and it's done in a kind of condensed way here, which is quite good because it actually happens twice in the movie. We get a further master later on who helps them excel in their kung fu abilities. And what I was saying earlier on about Sammo Hung is he's not in the movie much. He appears for a couple of scenes here and there at the start, and then he kind of disappears until maybe the final 20 minutes when he is brought into the movie. And one of the strangest things about the final fight, the big climactic battle where we have Yuen Biao versus the old fox, and we know what's on the line and what has transpired, you're with our characters, we start to get that fight. And for no reason whatsoever, Sammo Hung is brought in, so it's 2 against 1. And you just feel that it's brought in because he's the director and wanted to be in that big final climactic set piece. But there's so many fun things in this movie that aren't just throwaway like I've seen in other martial arts movies. Particularly, there is a jump rope sequence which is really fun, hilarious, and you can see the athleticism of Yuen Biao. But it gets brought back in the final fight. There is a jump rope sequence in the final fight which is just fantastic, amazing, really well done, really kind of funny, but also telling the tale of this fight at the same time as well. Knockabout was, great. I loved it. I loved seeing Yuen Biao. I think he's a great leading man. I think he does lots of things that show off his athleticism, which I think is fantastic. I think the jump rope sequences are hilarious. I think the most crazy thing about the movie is the monkey fight at the end, with the sound effects and the way they're acting. It makes no sense. It just looks silly. It is incredibly off the wall and off kilter. I like when movies take a kind of left turn and just do something completely out of left field, because this is crazy. But I had a lot of fun with Knockabout. I'd love to know your thoughts on the movie if you've seen it. What did you think of it? Are you going to pick it up? Are you going to watch it? Do you like these martial arts movies that are just coming out now almost every month? It feels like I am almost overwhelmed by the amount of action, and it's all terrific as well. Of course, there's more content up here if you want to see more of my stuff. And drop a comment in the comment box below, and in the description box will be links to the Patreon and the membership program. Consider joining, because it really helps the channel, and I'd appreciate that. Don't forget to hit that like button, because that helps as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.